it's getting too serious now for my audience. No, I'm kidding. The fan questions are funny, so I'm going to go back to some of them. Someone asked, I feel like you'd be good to answer this. This is the exact question. Mike from New Jersey, and it's not me. Why does it seem like many female porn stars or sex workers or whatever they call themselves nowadays have a bush? A bush I feel like is outdated in America, but maybe not in other countries. Is that why they have a bush, to make it marketable in other countries? Or is it that they are still old timers in America and they like a bush? Or is it because there's old timers in America who still like the bush? I think I know the answer to this. It's more about personal preference and just liking your body for what it is, but
100%. I think I would love to know how old this Mike is too, because that would.
I'm gonna say mid-30s.
You think mid-30s? Okay, that's actually older than what I thought. So, I think when most young people, like, you don't know that there's supposed to be hair down there, right? Like, and you start getting it and you're like, ew, this is gross. And our parents were like really shitty at talking to us about like sex and our bodies. So when we hit puberty and we're like, oh, this is terrible. And we just started shaving it all, right? Like, because that's just where we went with it. And then I was bald down there for a very long time until I got into porn. And then I started seeing other options. I was like, oh, wait, it's supposed to be there, right? Like, I still groom. Like, it's not like a free for all down there, but like, it's supposed to be there. So I think for a lot of women, like, I don't want to look prepubescent. I don't want to look like a little girl. Like, I want to look like a woman that's hit puberty. So I'm going to have that there. So I think a lot of women, like, that's the mindset. And I mean, don't be afraid of the bush.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think some girls might be self-conscious, so they like shave and everything like that. But I remember I've dated girls who had who they were Italian and they were just naturally hairy and they would have to shave a lot. And then also they'd always have hairy arms. That was kind of weird, but I'm not hating against it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, some people it's like really uncomfortable, especially when you're shooting a lot. So like if you're totally, bare down there, then you have to shave every day back to back, and that can be very painful. So there's like a lot of reasons. But to this Mike guy, I say embrace the bush. I think, if it's a little bit too much, maybe ask them to trim a little, but like embrace a little bit of the hair down there.
Shout out, Mike. And then also Matt from Hoboken, New Jersey says, would you ever hook up with someone not in the industry? I'm not sure if they know you're married or not, but.
I almost I guess he's saying like aside from scenes.
Yeah, I think he means like, would you be attracted to someone who's not in the porn industry or hook up with someone not in the porn industry? I feel most porn stars do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes and no. I would say like people that aren't, or people that are single, like it's usually safer to just hook up with people in the industry because everyone's testing so often.
Oh, it's interesting.
So like, yeah, so like that you're being clean. I always I have like no respect for people that like go off and like have unsafe sex outside of the industry like a crazy person and then come back in and like bring STDs in. Like that's so disrespectful and like so dangerous. So a lot of people who are just trying to be respectful and careful will just have sex within the industry because everyone's testing so frequently. But aside from that, like, yeah, I'm married. If I were to hook up with anybody, it would definitely be outside of the industry because I don't really see industry folks anymore. I mean, I'm in North Carolina, so there's like maybe 2 of us here.
What's scary is Lisa Ann told me that like a lot of the industry escorts now. I'm not sure if she's right. She's probably right. She's a game, but like that seems to be scary because I feel like that's where you might get your majority of STDs if you're not using safe sex or whatnot. I don't know.
I mean, you're going to get it. Your risk is there whether you're getting paid or whether you're doing it for leisure. It's there either way. I think with how much information we have today, I don't understand how you don't wear a condom. Like if you don't know the person, how you don't wear a condom, like that risk is just not worth that small reward. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I had 2 adult entertainers on the show and they told me to even wear a condom getting head.
Yeah, because you can get stuff in your mouth. So you can actually get chlamydia and gonorrhea in your throat.
That's crazy. But they were saying like to tell the girl like put a condom on. I feel like if you tell a girl that, she's gonna think you're dirty, like I'm dirty when I'm not, or you're gonna think she's really slutty. You know what I mean? But I guess it is what it is.
It is what it is. And I mean, if you want to have like that more intimate kind of sex, then like you both should be tested. If you're not a regular couple and you don't know what you're up to, like it's a quick test and then you can have that unprotected, more intimate experience. But I think you need to be tested. It's like shocking how often regular people don't get tested. I don't know why. It's so cheap. It's so easy. It takes 2 seconds. You know what I mean? You just don't want to get anything that doesn't go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you also were saying you were married. Now, don't have to answer if you don't want a personal question, but like, if you were, I don't know if you were married when you were in this industry in LA
Mhm.
too at the same time.
Yep.
Do you allow your husband or any guy you date to talk to other women while you do your scenes?
Yeah.
Or
So while I was shooting, he could do whatever he wanted. Like we had rules, but like, like protections are ruled. Like we had just rules to like alleviate like any unnecessary drama that might come from it. So there was definitely still like parameters, but we were very much in an open relationship while I was shooting. And then once I guess like I started settling down and I was in North Carolina, it definitely went more monogamous. But now like I title it monogamish. So like it's like ish. And for me, we met when I was, 20, 21.
oh wow.
Yeah. So like if I want to spend the rest of my life with this person, I mean, we have to be realistic here, right? Like 50% of marriages end up in divorce. Why is that? And I think it's because we're not tailoring our relationships to fit the two individuals in it. We say like, here is this, predetermined set of rules and behaviors that society has said make a successful relationship. Well, clearly that's not working because again, we have a 50% failure. I told you you want to go outside and there's a 50% chance that you get hit by a car, are you going to go outside that day? Absolutely not, right? So why are we treating our marriages so recklessly? So it's not to say everyone needs to be poly or, open or whatever. It's just saying like make sure that you put in the time and energy to like talk about your relationship and like make it for you, like curated for you. So
That's
the
cool.
way we look at it is like if he were to sleep with someone, it's fine. If I were to sleep with someone, it's fine. And if there's an issue, we talk about it and then like reconvene because it's like a living, breathing thing that just needs to be checked in.
I gotta find a wife like you. But I remember I asked the adult entertainer this. So like, I don't want to name drop, but like I asked her and she looked at me like I had six heads, and I was like, she was offended. And I'm generally a nice guy, and I'm goofy and I'm funny, and I would just ask them like, so when you do scenes, can the guys you date other men? And she's like, no, this is my job. They don't talk to any other girls, and this is like my people that I do work with on scene, and then our relationship's off camera. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
I bet you that relationship's not doing well if you were to check back in.
Yeah, it was weird. She like got offended, but this is interesting though. When you're on set, obviously the sparks are flying and the connections there. How do you emotionally turn it off connection wise?
So I'm I'm kind of like a dude in that regard. Like most women